No.
Bismillah. No, it's fine. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. So alhamdulillah, we're continuing the Quran classes that we started in Ramadan. Now in Ramadan, alhamdulillah, we were able to go through all of the rules. But we did go through them quite quickly, to be honest. In the sense of, we didn't, normally what would happen is, you study one rule and you just perfect the implementation of that one rule, then you move on to the next one. But obviously, we only had a number of days. If you take out the weekends, that's only 20 lessons. So, hence, we did it a bit quicker than normal. But alhamdulillah, now that we're continuing, we don't really have a time limit. So what we're going to do is go through the rules again. And inshallah, after we've taken a couple of rules, we're just going to stop. And a few days, just focus on those rules. And then we'll move on to the next few rules and then just focus on those rules and so on. And the way it's going to happen is that the explanation we're going to do, it's not going to be as long because we've explained them before. And then we're going to do a group recitation like we normally do, but that is going to be shorter than normal because I want to finish the lesson quicker so that after that, we're going to focus more on individual recitation. So every day, each of you will have like a portion amount, depending on everyone's level, that they'll have to practice from before, and that they'll have to read with tajweed. And we'll be focusing more on the rules that we've taken, right? So right now, because we're starting in from the beginning, I'm not going to focus too much on the noon sakin rules or the mim sakin rules because they were towards the end. We're going to start off with just looking in and reading, and after a few weeks, or after we've taken all the rules, if I see that, okay, you can look in and recite to a good extent, to a good level, then we'll move on to memorization. So we start from the end of the Quran, Surah Al-Nas, memorize Surah Al-Nas properly with tajweed, and only after you can recite that properly with tajweed, then you move on to the next one, Surah Al-Falaq, and the next one, Surah Al-Ikhlas, and so on, inshallah. So we'll start with the beginning. Put your hand up if you don't have these sheets. So you should have them. Yeah? Okay. We did print them out and give them out before. What we'll do, inshallah, is I'll just send you the PowerPoint. You got it? Okay, what to do is just message the Masjid number, the broadcast number, message them, say that you need the PowerPoint to the Quran classes, and they'll send it to you, inshallah, okay? They probably won't send you now, but after the lesson, inshallah, they'll send it. So if you need it, then we'll send it there, and if you want to print it off, then print it off yourselves, inshallah. Is that yours or is that spare copies? That's yours, okay. Right. So start again from the beginning, and if you remember, the first few pages were just ahadith regarding the virtues of the Quran, and this is just to remind us of the virtues of what we are doing and what we are spending our time with. So the first hadith is the famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where he said, خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ, which means, who's wrote it down? The best of you is the one who learns the Quran and teaches it. So what we're doing now is one of the things which makes a person from the best of people, which is learning the Quran. And learning the Quran includes a number of things, from learning its meaning and so on, and from them is learning how to recite it. So that's what we are doing right now. And the second hadith, يقال لصاحب القرآن اقرأ وارتق. It will be said to the companion of the Quran, recite and rise. وَرَتِّلْ كَمَا كُنْتَ تُرَتِّلُ فِي الدُّنْيَا, and recite just as you used to recite in this world. فَإِنَّ مَنْزِلَتَكَ عِنْدَ آخِرِ آيَةٍ تَقْرَأُ بِهَا, for verily your station is according to the last ayah that you recite. And the next hadith, the third hadith, مَنْ قَرَأَ حَرْفًا مِنْ كِتَابِ اللَّهِ, whoever recites a letter from the book of Allah, فَلَهُ بِهِ حَسَنَةً, then he will attain a hasana, a reward. وَالْحَسَنَةُ بِعَشْرِ أَمْثَالِهَا, and one reward is equal to 10 rewards. لا أقول ألف لام ميم حرف ولكن ألف حرف ولام حرف وميم حرف. I am not saying that alif lam mim is one letter, rather alif is a letter, lam is a letter, and mim is a letter. So this hadith shows us that for every letter that a person recites, they gain every letter that a person recites from the Quran, they gain 10 rewards. And obviously, not everyone has the sheets right now. I mentioned before when we took this the first time that I've written the hadith in Arabic, and the students were meant to have the sheets in front of them and they write down the translation themselves in English. No problem, inshallah. Once you get the PowerPoint, print them off and just listen to the recording and just write down the translations, inshallah. The fourth hadith is the Prophet saying, مثل الذي يقرأ القرآن وهو حافظ له مع السفرة الكرام البررة. The one who recites the Quran and he is a proficient reciter of it, and he is with the noble obedient angels. ومثل الذي يقرأ القرآن وهو يتعاهده وهو عليه شديد فله أجران. And the example of the one who recites the Quran and he وهو يتعاهده, he always has a connection and he's always trying to recite the Quran. وهو عليه شهيد, whilst it's difficult for him to recite the Quran. So it's a person now, he's reciting and he's trying his best to recite, but he's finding it difficult. In another narration, يتكعكع فيه, he stutters. Okay, this person, what's his reward? فَلَهُ أَجْرًا. The Prophet said he will have 2 rewards. He'll have double the reward. 1 reward for reciting, the other reward for the difficulty he's going through. So a person who might be proficient, he's getting 1 reward for his proficiency and his recitation. But the one who is struggling, he's going to get double the reward. Why? Because he's going through that struggle. So 1 for the struggle and 1 for reciting. Now, so these are just 4 hadiths just to show us the importance of what we are doing. That this makes us from the best of people, and it's a means of gaining high, lofty stations in paradise. And for every letter that we recite, we gain 10 rewards. And if we are struggling whilst we are reciting, then we get double the reward. Then we mentioned this ayah, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا, and recite the Quran tartilan, meaning tartilan I explained it in a bit more detail last time, but in simple terms, with tajweed. This is a command from Allah that we have to recite correctly, in the manner that it was revealed, in the manner that the Prophet ﷺ recited, and in the manner that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum recited. So we have to learn, it's obligatory upon us to learn to how to correctly recite the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right, so now we're actually starting 29 letters of the alphabet. We're not going to go through all of them right now. Today we're just going to focus on the heavy letters. That's it. 7 heavy letters. And then later on we'll focus on the other letters, inshallah. So what do we say about heavy letters? Who remembers? What is a heavy letter? What makes something heavy? How do you recite a letter heavy? Yeah, so your tongue, the back of it touches the top palate, right? So all of these letters, they have like a heavy sound to it. There's a little feedback, right? So these 7 letters are going to be pronounced in a heavy manner. So for example, the first one, we're going to recite it as kha, kha. Who remembers how, if you want to know the origin of any letter, what do we do? Yeah, so you put a hamza before it with a fatha, and you put a sukoon or a shadda on this letter. Okay? There's a lot of feedback. Right? So, then with kha, you will put hamza before it with a fatha, and under kha, put a shadda. So you say and you can feel it. You can feel that's the origin of the letter. That's where the letter is coming up from. So you want it to be a heavy letter, you can feel the back of your tongue going up. So we say in a heavy manner, meaning we say kha. We don't say kha. Kha. And this is a letter I've noticed, a common mistake in it as well, is people pronounce it like a ha. Right? So instead of khalidina, they'll say halidina. That's the sound that you want. Khalidina. So this first letter is Kha. Everyone repeat it. Kha. 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 Okay, let's try the other way where, see if I have to draw, right? If I put a Hamza before it. How do you pronounce that? You would say Akh. Everyone say that. Akh. 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 Okay, can you feel it? Akh. Not akh. 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 So that's the first letter. Kha. Kha. Can say Kha. Right. Second one. Sad. Sad. So you want like a, so as from like the sides. Yeah? Sad. The next one. Dad. This one is a difficult one because, one of the names of the Arabic language is Lughatu Dad, the language of Dad, because this letter they say is only in the Arabic language, it's not in any other language. Dad, you take your tongue, the side of your tongue, and you cover the top teeth on one side, left or right. Most people go for the left because it's easier. Dad, Dad. Now notice it's from the side, not from the front. That's dal, ad. That's different letter, like the letter D. The letter D comes from where? Comes from the front, right? We don't want that. That's a different letter. Right now, dad, ad, dad. Soften it. Dad. So you would say in Surah Fatiha, وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. Good. The next one is ta, right? So here your whole tongue will basically go to the top. Ta, ta. Okay, try not to move your lips. Not ta, none of that. Ta, ta, ta. Because your lips have nothing to do with the letter ta. When you start moving your lips, then you get the waw sound and you get other things. For example, twa, twa. You don't want any of that. Don't move your lips. Ta. Next one, dha, dha. Not za, za. Your tongue comes in between your teeth. Dha, dha. Then we have ghain. The ghain is very close to kha. So you say ghain. So say agh. It's close to kha. It's close to it. Kha is a bit behind, the ghain is a bit in front. So we say ghayril maghdubi. Yeah? So ghain. And last one, qaf. Qaf is similar as well. Qaf. Yeah? So if you were to put a hamza before it, qa. Yeah? Qaf. So let's do these letters again. Kha, Sad, Dad, Ta. Don't move your lips. Ta, Dha, Ghain, Qaf. One more time. Kha. Okay? So first one. Kha, Sad, Dad, Ta, Dha, Ghain, Qaf. Yeah? And these 7 letters, if you want to memorize them, just in this word over here. Khussa daghdin qidh. Like if you don't remember Kha, Ta, Da, Ta, Dha, Ghain, Qaf, if you memorize this word, Khussa daghdin qidh, that's another way of memorizing them as well. Just a dha. Dha. Oh, you mean your tongue goes up? On all of them, the back of your tongue goes up for all of them. And then ta, the whole thing goes up. Dha is between your teeth. No. But if you look at the question at the bottom. Question. Right? What's that question say? How do we make the letters heavy? Answer, we need to raise the back of the tongue against the soft part of the roof of the mouth. So your tongue, the back of it, it'll go and hit the top. If it doesn't, then you've done it incorrectly. Okay? We've got some words here. How many heavy letters in this word? 2. We have ghain and dad. So ghadiba, ghadiba, ghadiba. Here we have sad. As-samadu, as-samadu. Here we have the letter dha. Zahirun, zahirun, zahirun. Okay. That's it for today. Just these heavy letters. And I need you guys to be practicing these heavy letters. Inshallah. In terms of the recitation, we finished the first juz, so let's start the second juz. Well, let's recite a bit. Oh, actually, let's start again. Let's start again from the beginning, since we're starting again. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not going to focus on every tajweed rule, but the ones that we have taken, we're going to focus more on them, inshallah. And like I said, the group recitation won't be as long as before because we're going to focus more on individual recitation, inshallah. Okay? Or what we can do, I know what we can do. What we can do is I'm just going to recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Just going to recite Surah Al-Fatiha, and we'll recite that as a group. And then I'm going to give all of you 5 to 10 minutes to practice Surah Al-Fatiha amongst yourselves, or with each other or by yourself. And then you're going to come and recite to me individually. Okay? Now, there are going to be other rules in Surah Al-Fatiha, right, that we have taken in Ramadan, but like I said, we're starting again now, so I want to focus on one rule at a time. So we're just taking the heavy letters. Now, the letter Ra, which is sometimes heavy, or the Ha, and the Ain, which are the throat letters, I'm not going to focus on them too much right now. Just going to focus on one rule at a time and practice that. And then later on we can come back to Surah Fatiha and we can do that again, inshallah. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So in أعوذ بالله, which is the heavy letter? Ta. Yeah? So من الشيطان, ta. Don't move your lips. I don't want anyone moving their lips. من الشيطان الرجيم. من الشيطان الرجيم. Not from the nose. I don't want ta, ta, no. Alright? To make sure you're not doing for your nose, just say ta, ta. If your nose is vibrating and you can't say it, that means you're using your nose. Right, everyone try that? Ta, ta. If you can feel a vibration or something, that means you're using your nose. Don't use your nose. You're using your nose? No, if you're saying ta, you're using your nose. Ta. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. So far we've not really الصراط المستقيم. So you have the Sad. Ra is heavy as well, but we're not taking the rule. Ta is heavy and Qaf. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. Now here the ghain and the dads. Two ghains and two dads. Be careful. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Don't want غير غاء. It's heavy. Not غير, not غاء. غاء. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Okay, inshallah. Practice this. I mean, there are a lot of throat letters. Maybe tomorrow we'll take the throat letters as well. And you can focus on the heavy letters and the throat letters together. But for today, just focus on the heavy letters. Okay, so the 7 heavy letters, focus on them. As for the others, leave them for now. Inshallah. So right now, I'm going to give it till 50. Till 6:50, inshallah. At 6:50, I'm going to listen to everyone's individually, inshallah. Not on the mic. We'll turn the mic off. And you can read to me individually, inshallah. Okay? Right, so you've got 10 minutes. I'd advise you maybe a few minutes read it yourself. And then after that, maybe read to somebody else and practice.